With the agriculture and industrial revolution, a transport revolution happened. This transport revolution was necessary because the factories needed raw materials and at the same time markets needed the manufacturers created in these factories. So this transport revolution will provide both of them what they need. Roads and canals were built since 1770 and river transport, of course, widely used. Thanks to the steam engine, Robert Fulton created the first line of commercial steamboats. Before Fulton, water navigation used boats powered by wind or animals, but they were very fast. They were replaced by these steamboats. Anyway, clipper ships continued sailing seas, and they were definitively replaced when the British Empire guaranteed the existence of harbors with supplies of coal for the long routes between Britain and colonies in America, Africa, and Asia. The other field where the steam engine was used was the ground transport. Railway was invented thanks to the steam engine powering locomotives and the iron used to build trains and railways. George Stephenson invented the first steam-powered locomotive in 1814 to transport coal. In 1825, the first cargo railway line was built, and 5 years later, the first public transport railway line between Liverpool and Manchester. The railway became one of the most revolutionary ways of transport, because it made possible to get goods to their markets in a cheap, safe, and efficient way. The railway had a great impact on industrialization, because it needed coal for working, so it promoted mining, and it needed iron to build railways and trains, so it promoted the iron industry too. This new way of transport was so important that spread very fast through the entire world. Spain's first line of railway transport was built between La Habana and Guines in 1837. In the Iberian Peninsula, the first line was Barcelona-Mataró in 1848. Long-distance railways were built, such as the Trans-Siberian Railway connecting Moscow and Vladivostok, 9,288 kilometers, or the Southern Pacific Railroad in the United States, 21,739 kilometers. Imagine these travels at the usual speed gathered at the 19th century, more or less 70, 60 kilometers per hour. And then you must travel 10,000 kilometers without air conditioning nor heating. Social and economic impact of the transport revolution. Trade. The transport revolution reduced times and costs, so the trade was highly improved and people traveled easier. Specialization. Thanks to the transport, the industrialized countries made and exported manufactures, whereas the colonies provided raw materials for industrialized countries. Mining and iron industry. Coal, iron, and other metals were needed to power the locomotives and to build railways, trains, and steamboats. Daily life. Great amounts of people started migrating thanks to the easier and faster ways provided by long-distance trains and steamboats. At the same time, food was transported longer distances, and that meant an improvement in people's nutrition.